What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 19 of Hit the Books, the podcast all about sports betting, the bets you should be taking, and everything surrounding sports. We are here for Week 18, the NFL season, final week of the regular season, full slate before we get into the NFL playoffs. So join me, and let's jump in and introduce my co-host for this week's episode. This week, we just got Huff and Ace this week. Let's start off with you, Ace. What do you got for us here coming into another week here, Week 18?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, first off, I'm pretty beat that we didn't have a Monday night football game last week to give me a nice little bailout, a negative week for the first time in a while. Kind of the oddity this year, but it is what it is. We'll regroup this week. Got a full slate, the last one of the season, so excited to get into that. And got some exciting college football news at the end for Huff to cover as well. So ready to get rolling today, ready to roll.
Awesome. Good stuff. Huff, what do you got for us here coming into another week here, Week 18?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I feel like Week 17 feels like it was literally a month ago with no Monday Night Football. Just that bridge from Monday night to Thursday night really kind of you don't really have too much time to look into things. You know, obviously we record on Wednesdays, get this out on Thursdays, and then obviously the next week starts on Thursday usually. But Week 17, no Monday Night Football. Week 18, no Thursday night. We're waiting from Sunday up until this Saturday where we'll have my Steelers kick off Week 18, but definitely feels like it's been some time since I've watched an NFL game, especially with the Bama Michigan game mixed in there in the college football playoff. It feels like it's been a while since we've seen some NFL football.
Alrighty, boys. Yeah, let's jump right in here to this week. Starting off with the NFL, like usual, we have our power rankings for this week.
Pretty
First
crazy
ones
list
of the
here.
new year. Very excited about this. Coming in at number 5, the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 4, the Cleveland Browns. Number 3, the Dallas Cowboys. Number 2, the San Francisco 49ers. And number 1, the Baltimore Ravens. What do you guys think about that one here this week for Week 18?
Yeah, you had to go ahead. You had to go ahead and put those Browns in there. We were saying last week that was a team that maybe arguably could have been that 5 spot where Detroit was. Detroit loses a close one in Dallas. Not really too much a knock against them. Obviously, we know what the Cowboys are capable of on their home field, but this Browns team is catching fire at the right time. They're going to be benching Flacco this week to get him some rest, the old veteran, going into the playoffs. So a lot of backup quarterbacks all around. That's Week 18 every week, or every year. But this Browns team, they're probably the most impressive team, at least on paper right now. In this, I'm not saying like to go far. I'm just saying like a team that no one expected them to be here at this point of the year. With all the injuries that they had, you look at Dallas sliding back up in there. They've been the most fluctuating team, I feel like. And then 1 and 2 just stay solidifying themselves with the Ravens and the Niners. Ravens huge win over Miami, just shit stomping them. And then the Niners defending their number 2 spot, obviously. Easily, definitely the number 1 team in the NFC. They secured that number 1 seed. I'm excited to see how these playoffs shape up. I think we got a good top 5 going into Week 18 now.
Yeah, and like you said, the Ravens and Niners, no brainers there. The Raiders beating the brakes off of the Dolphins, not Raiders, Ravens, beating the brakes off the Dolphins this week. That's why the Dolphins fall out of our top 5. I mean, I was all over them coming in, and they really lived up to the moment. Lamar locking up that MVP race. Yeah, the Browns surprising to get in there, but they've been playing great football. Didn't expect that at the beginning of the year, them to be here at this point. The craziest thing to me is see the Eagles fall out for the first time this year, I think. If not one of the very few
I was
times
going to
that
say
they've been
this might be
outside.
the second time they haven't been in the top 5, but yeah, definitely a rare chance for them.
Yeah, deservedly so too, with that loss to the Cardinals being so huge. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys now having the NFC East really under their belt. They know they have to lock it up, but that's crazy. We didn't expect that to happen. So a flip there between the Eagles and the Cowboys. I mean, if not Eagles win that game, I don't even know if the Cowboys are in the top 5 sitting as a wild card. But the Chiefs hanging on for dear life as they got an ugly win this week. But yeah, I'm excited to get talking about these games because some of these teams coming down to the wire. It's gonna be close getting in.
Absolutely, yeah. Chiefs. They're at that point where if there's no 5 seed and the Chiefs aren't in the top 4, it's a safe, kind of cop out. Just put Mahomes in there, get him going. Especially the closer more you get to the playoffs, I think that's a safe bet putting Mahomes.
He's
in there.
always there. It's not pretty, but he's always there.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty, boys, you said it. Let's jump right into this week's slate here. Week 18. We got no games on Thursday, 2 on Saturday, handful on Sunday, and no Monday Night Football game, similar to last week. This first game that we're going to talk about here is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. The Steelers, the favorite here, 4 points for them, minus 200 on the money line, total at 35.5. Steelers, Mason Rudolph and Lamar Jackson being rolled out here for Week 18. What do you guys think coming into this game, this first 4:00 matchup, Steelers and Ravens? What do you think, Ace?
Yeah, surprised you dished this one to me first with Huff and the Yinzers. You guys, I'm surprised. First time I think anybody other than Huff's gone first on the Steelers team this year, maybe all time. But yeah, I mean the Ravens playing great football. They earned themselves the opportunity to be able to sit Lamar Jackson and other key players, locking up the AFC. And you know what's crazy is my prediction rang true from the halfway point. I think the Ravens are going to finish with the best record in the AFC, and they have now done that, regardless of the outcome of this week. I do like the Ravens to go in on a high note this week. I think they can still get it done. I like what they have in their depth. We've seen Tyler Huntley come in time and time again. Whoever it is, other guys have stepped into that role too. But that team, they're going to go in on a winning streak. I think they already have that bye locked up. I think it's going to be tough for the Steelers to put up points. But my favorite play this week would probably be the under in this game. I think it's a very low scoring game between a lot of reserves for both sides.
Yeah, I like that play on the under. Obviously, my take is I think the Steelers win this game. 4 points is definitely a lot. I think they'll do enough to win the game, and like you said, in a lower scoring bout, I like the Steelers. The minus 200 money line is just crazy for this team right now, going up against a 1 seed in Baltimore. Divisional matchup. I usually love taking the underdog when all the backups are in and the playoff implications are on the line. I think Tomlin's going to go in, eke out an ugly game. Ravens obviously lock up that 1 seed. This game doesn't mean anything to them. They'd love to kick the Steelers out of the playoffs, though. I think that's a little spite the Ravens have going into this game is kick your rival out. And the Steelers lose this game, they're out. They do need some help. I think the Steelers win this game. Close game. I do agree with you on the under 35.5, though. I might end up carding that one.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy, Huff, is this game goes against all trends because of the sitting guys out. It kind of sucks that they're giving us Steelers Ravens in Week 18. Maybe they didn't expect this scenario, but they definitely expected someone to be fighting for lives, if not both of them. And now we have the Ravens obviously playing for nothing essentially. But the trends that we always look at, they always split every year. The home team wins, so everything's leaning Ravens. But the big factor is that benching of all the good players.
Yeah, exactly. Especially the Saturday standalone game. Dude, when this line opened, the Steelers were -7. I was like, Jesus, that is not good. Like,
Yeah.
not taking minus. I don't even like -4. Just get and the -2. They're not a good enough team to throw in a money line parlay. I have to see who else the Ravens are going to end up sitting out. Do you know is Roquan Smith playing? That's like the biggest X factor on defense for me.
I'm not sure if their full list is out yet, and it'll get bigger by the time game time comes. So we'll have to monitor that.
Roquan, Patrick Queen, those are like two guys. If they're out, obviously the line's definitely going to move. But yeah, Kyle Hamilton, those three guys on defense. Those are three dudes. If they rest, I love the Steelers' chances. Mason's been, putting up points, 30 points in back-to-back games, putting up yards. He looks like, the franchise guy right now. We've seen the other backup quarterbacks do that. So obviously, I'm just kind of in the mix with our backup situation right now and the success that he's been having. But hoping that we can go into Baltimore and get a win on Saturday.
It'll be an interesting one. Big one for the Yinzers. Big game early on.
Always is. Week 18. Always got to fucking sweat this shit out.
What's going on, everybody? Jesse from Hit the Books here. I want to tell you a little bit about Zencastr. We use Zencastr because it's the best solution for us to record our episodes each week with 4 of us in different locations. Coordination is hard, and Zencastr makes that easy. Like I said, it's so easy. It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Just log in with your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Feel a sense of zen knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Zencastr's an all-in-one platform. If you've thought about podcasting before and realized that you need a lot of different tools and services, those days are over. Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform. You can create a podcast all in one place and distribute to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other major destinations. If you're interested, go to Zencastr.com/pricing and use our code HITTHEBOOKS, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same experience, easy experience we do with all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. Make sure to use our link in the description below or our offer code HITTHEBOOKS at Zencastr.com/pricing for 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. Alrighty, let's keep it moving here through Week 18. Our Saturday primetime matchup: the Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. The Texans, the favorite here, just 1.5 points, minus 118 on the money line, plus 100 on the money line for the Colts. Total 47.5. I totally forgot to read my trends for the Steelers Ravens game, so we'll start here. Over 9-2 in the Colts' last 11 games at home, 16-6 in the to the over in their past 22 games overall. Colts 17-4 straight up in their last 21 games at home against the Texans. The Texans 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 road games. What are you guys thinking here in this primetime Saturday matchup here this week?
Whoever wins this game is going to the playoffs.
Yeah, this is winning in. This is definitely big playoff implications on the line. You win, you're in. The loser, I think, is out. I don't even think can get some
Yeah,
help.
I
Is
think
that
they're out.
correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And you have a
So
chance at the that chance at the AFC South with a win too, pending a Jaguars game. But
yeah,
this will be a good one. I
this
like
is going to
CJ
be a tough
Stroud back
game.
in the mix. The squabble.
I see. I don't know. I kind of the Colts beat the Texans early on in the season. Like we said, we usually like to look at the teams that go 1-1 and split. Colts win in Houston. I think that might have been during the Stroud injury week 2. Was he hurt? No, that's kind of before
No,
he kind of started lighting it up a
that's a
little bit.
Richardson
But
start.
yeah, so that was back the Anthony Richardson Colts got a big win in Houston. Minshew, I mean, I don't know if I can fade this Colts team right now on their home field.
Swinging.
Last week I took the Raiders plus the 3.5. That did hit. Colts get the win. I don't know this Colts team. They've been winning on their home field. They're 3-0 in their last 3 at home. I'm going to take the Colts here to get a huge win and make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I can't tell you if
I
I'm
definitely
definitely gonna
see
have
how
a.
you like the Texans. This is like an ugly
Yeah.
pick. I'm just taking the home team.
No, I know, but the Colts are so hot. Better defense, more veteran guys in
Yeah.
the room. But CJ Stroud, I feel like, is the most dynamic player on the field. I know Alec Pierce looked great. Jonathan Taylor's back in the mix. There's a lot of guys on that Colts team. Defense has flashes, well coached, but it's in Houston. CJ Stroud, this is his offensive rookie of the year moment. I think this is a legacy moment for him too. If he can check
No,
this
it's
one
in
off of the.
Indy.
Oh, it's in Indy, but
Yeah.
still, I mean, yeah,
You
tough,
threw
tough
me off
spot.
because my stat was like backed up off the home games. I was like, wait, did I just say that
Yeah.
for no reason?
Yeah, I got confused on that one. I thought you were saying, yeah. All right. So in Indy, still, I lean the Texans here. Same thing. Same argument. I think it's a CJ Stroud legacy type game. I think he's able to have a very successful day. He might throw an interception, but I think he's going for 250 plus. He's going to throw 2 touchdowns, and they have more offensive firepower, I think, than the Indianapolis Colts. They can score much quicker. I know missing Tank Dell hurts, but I think they're able to contain Minshew a lot more. If I remember correctly, earlier in the season, it was a different assignment. I don't know if I'm going to take a side in this game per se. Check back for our Saturday cards for my official prop plays as I dive into this one. But I think this is going to be a great game on Saturday Night Football. I want to say it's going to end somewhere like 23-20. I lean the Texans here for argument's sake, but that may flip come Saturday night.
Lots of good stuff there, boys. Finish out our Saturday slate there. Time to jump into Sunday here, the final Sunday of the regular season. Starting off at 1 o'clock, the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Saints, the favorites here at home, just 3 points for them, minus 176 on the money line. Falcons money line plus 148, total at 42.5. Trends I got. Total has gone under in 5 out of Atlanta's last 6 games when playing on the road against New Orleans. Atlanta 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games against New Orleans. What are we thinking here in this first 1 o'clock matchup, final week of the regular season? Ace, take it away.
Yeah, I think it's just such a crucial game for a veteran team in the New Orleans Saints who had big expectations coming in. I like them -3. I'm not carding them, though. I'm not taking them. I've been burnt by these Saints way too many times. And I think this win is irrelevant either way because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to lock up the division with a win over the Carolina Panthers. Falcons might be pesky in this one, too. They might be able to keep a low scoring game, keep it close, two good defenses. But I think that the Saints are able to cover that number for argument's sake. Not taking this one, definitely not. AFC NFC South divisional matchup, tough game. I do like a slow game between these two. Saints, I guess I take them. Yeah, I lean them, but not much. I don't know about you, Huff. You can honestly say you'd card one of these, but I think they win, but it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say New Orleans needs some help to win this division. Obviously, the Bucks, if they win, they get the division. New Orleans, I'm looking at it right now. They need a win and a Tampa Bay loss, or tie, or New Orleans tie plus a Tampa Bay loss to clinch that division title. So definitely gonna need some help there. I believe Tampa Bay gets the Buck or the Panthers this weekend. Correct, another NFC South matchup. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. I think the Saints definitely defend home field here and get the win. I like the Saints to come out on top. in the dome. -3 is a little tough. I'm going to lean the -3 though. I think they handle business. This offense has picked up the past couple of weeks. The Falcons are trending
Olave.
downward. Yeah, this offense is starting to look a little better. Starting to look like they have some trust in Derek Carr. The defense is clicking. I will not card Kamara to score a touchdown. Every time I fucking card him, he doesn't score. The
It
weeks I
barely
don't do it, he scores too, dude. He's so frustrating to bet on this year. But the Saints get the win.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think this is going to be a very uneventful game, and I'm hoping this is the last time we have to see either of these two NFC South teams this year. The Bucks can handle business, but I do
Here's a
like Olave to have a big game in the last one.
Here's a profitable one that I've been taking the past couple of weeks because every Saints game I watch, he scores. Is Juwan Johnson. He's like plus 380
Mm.
every fucking game, and Derek Carr loves him. It's
He just
crazy.
loves his tight ends. Yeah, it's like
It's
Darren Waller.
crazy, dude. Yeah,
That's his Darren Waller.
I'm
Yeah,
like
that's an interesting one.
I have like a note that in my a mental note to like see what his anytime touchdown score odd is at as soon as it gets posted. I'm
And
actually
if there's
looking on.
enough value, you might be seeing it on Huff's card this week.
Dude, I'm gonna look at it right now because ESPN sometimes posts these. Yeah, they have it posted. Let me see what the. Oh no, they don't. Some of the games were posted. Like it's posted for that Dolphins game, but not this, which is weird because that game's 8 hours later. But yeah, definitely stay tuned. That's the Juwan Johnson touchdown trend. Derek Carr, that's his boy lately. I might have to hop on that.
Starting to ramp up here in week 18, moving forward to this second 1 o'clock matchup. Cleveland Browns and Cincinnati Bengals. I think a matchup they thought was going to be a lot more fun and exciting than it's going to be here. The Bengals, the favorite, 7 points, -320 on the money line, total at 37.5. Trends I have here. Total's gone over in 5 out of Cleveland's last 5 on the road. Also over in 6 out of 7 against Cincinnati for the over there. What are we thinking here? This Battle of Ohio. Cincinnati's basically in Kentucky, but we'll stop there. What do you think, Huff?
I like the under here. I think that in the Jeff Driscoll versus Jake Browning Bowl, I think the game goes under 37.5. I think Mixon gets his if he's even going to play in this game. I don't know if they're going to sit out with no playoff implications on the line. But Brown's obviously sitting some guys. They're already an injured team coming into this one with really nothing to play for in this one. They've basically locked up that top wild card spot, looking to get obviously, they're going to get hopefully a home playoff game if they can win one. Hopefully that'd be kind of best case scenario for this Browns team. Not much to play for here in Cincy. That's why you see the Bengals as a 7-point spread. Give me the backup quarterback that's been in there for the past couple of weeks and has done it. I like the Browning and the Bengals. I almost said the Browns and the Bengals. I like Browning and the Bengals to get it done, but I like the under 37.5 as my most confident play in this
Yeah, Huff, the Browns and the Bengals. You can't go wrong with either pick here this game because they're both playing. But yeah, Jake Browning. I like what your take here. I mean, it's an irrelevant game for the Cleveland Browns. Can't move your positioning at all.
This
Can
is
only
actually like
get
a good
hurt.
game for the Browns to just lose because it's like, okay, now we're back to we're not the hot team that's won every
Yeah,
game coming into the playoffs. Like,
but that defense is definitely going to want to eat, and I understand why you like that under 37.5. If Mixon sits out, I don't know if I can take a Bengals side in this one. I think Browning is successful with the receivers there. This could be T. Higgins' last game as a Cincinnati Bengal right here. So I think he definitely gets his. That might be something I look at as an anytime touchdown. Browning really favors his top end receivers. I think the young running back for the Bengals actually could have a good day as well. What's his name? Chase Brown, I believe. Um, Something like that. But he's been pretty dynamic through the passing game and on the ground, similar to Jalen Warren almost. But I'm not taking anything on this one again. I'm going to stay away from these irrelevant games this week. I'm really going to focus in on the ones that I love.
It's getting down to it. Vegas is calling these games right each and every week, just getting better and better with all the more data. I like the plays, though. Let's keep it moving here. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. Or did you go, Huff? All right. I thought so. I don't know why I second-guessed myself. Let's keep it going here. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans here in Nashville. The Jaguars are the favorite, the road dog or the road favorite at 5.5 points, -240 on the money line. 39.5 is our total. Trends I got here is Jacksonville 9-2 against the spread in their last 11 on the road. The total has gone over in 4 out of Jacksonville's last 5 games when playing on the road against the Titans. And the Titans 8-1 straight up in their last 9 games when playing at home against Jacksonville. What are you guys thinking here? Ace, why don't you get us started here? Another 1 o'clock matchup in Week 18.
I think I was about to come in here pretty hot, but then you read those stats about the Titans at home. I was like, Jesus, don't like to hear that one. But I'm still rocking with the Jags heavy here. And regardless if it's Trevor Lawrence, regardless if it's what's his name, backup down there, who's playing backup for him right now?
Beathard.
Is it
Beathard.
CJ Beathard? Yeah, I knew it was an ex 49er. I'm like, which one is it? I had to go through the archive real quick. Nick Mullins starting up there in Minnesota right now too. Kind of funny, but yeah, no. Back to CJ Beathard and the Jaguars. He looked really good last week, super efficient. And how can you not be with the talent that's around you? You have ETN, you have Ridley, Engram, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones. The names just keep going on and on. He had a connection with Jamal Agnew as well. Then that defense really stepped up and won that game for him. They pitched a shutout last week. That Jaguars defense is a playoff caliber defense, best defense in the AFC South, which in my opinion makes the best team in the AFC South. Great skill positions all around, best quarterback when he's healthy. I think that they're able to win this game regardless and cover the number. I know that the Vrabels are past the Vrabels, the Titans led by Mike Vrabel are pesky, especially at home too. And Ryan Tannehill in the mix, playing for his career almost, kind of sketches me out. But Derrick Henry's been a slouch. I like the Jags here this week. Defense pitches a strong game, holds the other team below 2 touchdowns. And I think the Jaguars get just enough done to win this AFC South like we all predicted.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the other side here. I think Vrabel's going to drop a spoiler. This could be one of the spoilers of the weekend where Jaguars need a win and they're in. I like the Titans kind of drop a game plan. Vrabel, keep it kind of tight, simple. Keep it under that 39 point total where they want to be. They don't want to be scoring, 20, 30 points with this Jaguars offense. I think if Lawrence plays, this is scary. But I like the Titans with this current number at 5.5.
Yeah, I
For
think
the
it's a tough
spread.
number.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I say
it's tough.
spoiler, they could win, but
They
I'm
could
gonna take the points. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the points there. It's a lot of points for a divisional matchup. I think it could be end up a 3-point game, and if it's Beathard under center, you're looking even better. But I think the Jaguars stymie him enough to win the division.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Good stuff there. Our next matchup here, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. The Bucks the favorite here, -4.5. Panthers at home. The Bucks -215 on the money line. 37.5 is our total trends I got here. The Bucks 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 on the road, 6-1 straight up in their last 7 against Carolina. The total's gone under in 6 out of Carolina's last 7 games at home. What are we thinking in this one, Huff? Why don't you get us going here?
Yeah, this is one I don't love the spread, but I love the Bucks just to win this game and get the job done. They have the playoff, the division implications on the line. I don't love 4.5 points as especially a road favorite in a divisional matchup, but give me the Bucks money line. 2 leg parlay. This will get you plus money at the -200 or whatever it's sitting at. So I love the Bucks to get a win here this week and win the NFC South.
Yeah, I agree with you, Huff. I mean, not much to say here. The Carolina Panthers pose no threat. I think they might be able to keep it close though for divisional sake, just to give them a little bit of a fight from Bryce Young.
Almost like
But
just a scare, like just like a scare.
yeah,
Like we're not
a
gonna just
scare.
let you roll over this. Like that
Yeah, I
Jaguar.
don't, I don't, I don't see that happening. I mean, but they definitely could with the way that the Bucks team is built. Strong defense and good playmakers. I think Mike Evans continues his successful year. I'll look at his anytime touchdowns. Baker loves him, but if any other year, Baker could be considered for comeback player of the year too, which is kind of crazy. But I think the Bucks are able to handle business and defy a lot of expectations coming into the season.
That's funny you said that last week. I almost took Evans' first touchdown, and then I was looking at it, and it was like plus 550, and like a receiver, you like 750. You know what I mean? Unless it's fucking Justin Jefferson in his prime when Cousins was just whipping it to him every time. And I went with ETN. Didn't score until the third quarter and breaks it on a 62-yard run. I was like, let's fucking go. I don't even. Did Mike Evans score last week?
Last week I believe he did score. Yeah, I think
I
he might
think
have scored the first touchdown of the game.
damn. So I
Let me
would have.
check. Let's just double check that to confirm. He did not. He had 3 catches for 70 yards though. He did not.
Okay.
They got
Because
Yeah,
going
back in the
what's his name had 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, Godwin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were using
Yeah.
Godwin. This is a certified Mike Evans gets in the end zone game. Rashad White, just go back to all the old school guys that have been working for the Bucks all year. White and Evans will get it in the end zone this week.
Good stuff, boys. Rolling through this 1 o'clock slate here. Another one here. Hometown for Ace. The Jets and the Patriots in New England. The Patriots, the favorite here, just 1.5 points. Their money line, -120. The Jets' money line at +102, and the total at a low of 30.5. Trends I have here, the total has gone under in 4 out of the last 5 games on the road for the Jets, as well as 4 out of the 5 games between these clubs. New England, 5-0 straight up and against the spread in its last 5 games at home against the Jets. What do you think here, Ace? Very low total on this matchup here, but one of our last 1 o'clock games. We have your boys at home. What do you got?
Yeah, I think that the Patriots should win this game because it's the New York Jets that they're playing against, but you have no reason to win. I really hope they don't go on and win
I
this
was just
game.
gonna say, what you don't want to see them a minus
Oh,
120
no,
favorite this week.
I wanna lock up the number 2 pick, but I don't know if they'll be able to do it. It's the New York Jets. They always beat them. The defense is working hard, playing hard. Bailey Zappe playing for his career like some other guys I've said, and Bill Belichick hates losing the teams that he likes to beat, especially in this season if you look at their 4 wins. But, I'm not touching this game. I'm staying away from it, and I don't even wanna watch it that much. Please
If
just
you
lose.
guys win this week, the Commanders are basically an automatic loss because the Cowboys need to win this week, and they're a 14-point favorite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys definitely don't want to win this game. That's an auto. You could move back from the 2nd to the 4th pick. Not that that's like huge, but you know what I mean? If you have a guy, like you want to get your guy too. Like this is a tough spot. I think the Patriots could win this game. I do. I think it's in Foxborough. I think Belichick's trying to, you know what I mean? They don't want to go out too sad. There's not that much difference between the 2nd and the 4th pick, unless you're going for Marvin Harrison. You want that 2nd pick, but I think you guys are up there in that quarterback conversation. I think the Patriots win this game. Cardinals have a tough matchup this week though too, so pretty scary. So Cardinals and Commanders could be looking at losses, while the Patriots are a favorite in Week 18. That's crazy.
Such a tough spot.
This is a game I won't be betting that. That's more just for like conversation's sake. I can't bet on that game.
I don't think anybody will be.
Yeah, I'll come in with like a Zeke first touchdown.
Definitely going to be an interesting one there in Foxborough. Let's move forward to our final 1 o'clock matchup here. The Minnesota Vikings heading to Detroit to visit the Lions. The Lions, the favorite here, 3.5 points. Their money line minus 178. The Vikings money line at plus 150, and the total at 45.5. Trends I got here. The total has gone over in 6 out of Minnesota's last 7 games when playing Detroit, as well as over in 5 out of Minnesota's last 6 games when playing on the road against Detroit. Detroit 5-0 against the spread in its last 5 against Minnesota. What are we liking in this matchup here? Detroit, the favorite here. Huff, why don't you get us started in our final 1 o'clock matchup here in Week 18?
Yeah, I love the Lions in this spot, and here's why. I'm not a Jaron Hall guy, not a Nick Mullins guy. I don't love what the Vikings are cooking up there. I slammed the Packers on Sunday Night Football. You saw what happened there. I think they won like 43-10. Things got out of hand in the second half. That Packers offense was rolling. Meanwhile, that Vikings offense couldn't get much going. Jaron Hall looked terrible in the first half. Mullins kind of got some stuff going in the second, but that Packers defense isn't anything too scary. And this, I'm not saying this Lions defense is, but Detroit on their home field, they put up points. They don't really need this game either, though, so which is kind of scary. This could just be, is this Ace? Is this just technically for seeding for them?
Yeah, I
Because like they
believe
already
so.
won
It
their
depends on
division.
other games too.
Yeah, so like you want to win this game. It's just for your record, basically. Later on, like you could have the same record as like the Cowboys if they lose this week, or you know what I mean, things like that. So I think the Lions are an auto win this week. I think that minus 178. If they play everyone, they're going to win this game on their home field. Minus 3.5. I'll take them as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with
Huff,
you.
1 sec, Ace here. So you are correct. So Detroit obtains the 3 seed with a loss, and a win or a tie with some other things can
2
get them
seed.
2 seed.
Yeah, they want to win this game. They don't want to
Yeah,
go to Dallas again. Ace,
right.
right?
No, they do not want to go to Dallas. I'll tell you that.
Maybe in the
Go ahead, Ace.
playoffs.
All you.
Yeah, so as I was saying, I'm siding with Huff here. I'm just gonna buy that half a point on the 3 though, because it just makes me feel safer. You know my general rule, but I agree with Huff here. All the reasons that he stated. It's the Detroit Lions, and the other team has got nothing to play for here, and they're in shambles, kind of in their quarterback room. I don't see a way in which they're able to upset the Detroit Lions.
I saw, which is kind of fun to think about. I saw a mock draft which has the Vikings projected to draft Michael Penix in the 2nd round, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where he goes.
In the 2nd round?
Yeah,
Holy crap.
he's one of those guys. He's
He's
had
end
so
of
many
first,
injury
early
problems.
second.
I did hear that. I'm sorry.
He's had so many injury problems. The NFL's like scared of him.
Yeah.
So he's a 2nd round grade, I guess.
I saw some mock drafts that had him like at the 11th and 12th pick. I was like, oh, that's a little
Yeah,
for one game. That's a little,
yeah. I was gonna say, if he wins the national championship, you'll see one that has him getting picked probably 10th.
Alrighty, moving forward to our 4 o'clock slate here. The Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers are leading us off here in Green Bay. Packers the favorite, 3 points for them, minus 156 on the money line. Bears money line plus 132 in the total at 44.5. Trends I got here: Chicago 5-1 against the spread in their last 6, also 4-1 straight up in their last 5. Green Bay 5-0 straight up in its last 5 when playing at home against Chicago. Who do we like here in Green Bay? Pretty local game. Wisconsin and Illinois very close to each other. What do you guys got here?
Ace, here's a little storyline for you. Last year, Lions kicked the Packers out of the playoffs in Lambeau. Lions didn't go, Packers didn't go. I think a same situation happens here. I was big on the Packers last week. I think the Bears exploit that run defense and are able to move the ball downfield. Justin Fields is fighting for that franchise. He wants to stay in Chicago, wants to give him every reason to. They already locked up the number 1 overall pick. What's stopping the Bears from going out and winning this game in Lambeau? Because I love the Bears plus the 3 points.
Wow, I'm surprised. I didn't think you would be. I like the Bears here to win as well. I think that Justin Fields has been playing great, and their defense has been as well. They're actually loaded, and you see the fans chanting, "We want Fields." I think he's able to secure his job with another win this week, knocking out an arch nemesis rival and show that he can beat good teams when it matters.
Back-to-back years, the Packers are going to get bounced in Week 18 by a divisional foe. Neither team's going to go. That's the funniest part. It's not even like a win and in game.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that the Packers are a little farther away. I think they exceeded expectations already this season. I don't think they end up getting in, but I think they're right there and compete next year.
Ace, how far are you away from this Providence basketball stadium?
Providence is far. It's about like
Oh,
35
really?
minutes. Yeah.
Far 35 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like
Rhode Island
that's like
far.
a little further from me in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Rhode Island far. That's the furthest you can
That's
be.
what I'm watching right now. We have this Providence spread. They're fucking good. They were down 8-2, and now they're winning 17-10.
Yeah, the PC Friars are sick.
Their whole team is like seniors. That's why they're so good. But all right, let's get back to football. I just wanted to ask that. That's fun. It's far 30 minutes.
The furthest point in Rhode Island from Ace. All right, next 4 o'clock matchup we got here. We got Mackey's Dallas Cowboys visiting the Washington Commanders as 13-point favorites here. Again, Cowboys 13.5, point favorites, minus 900 the money line, total at 45.5. Trends I got here: the total has gone under in 4 out of the Cowboys' last 5 on the road, as well as under in 4 out of the Cowboys' last 5 games on the road against Washington. Going to be an interesting game here. Let's send it over to Mackey. Mackey, what do you got for us? Oh, no Mackey this week.
Pipe Mackey in again.
Poor guy. Anyways, who wants to get us rolling here in this 4 o'clock matchup? Cowboys got the biggest spread here of the week. What do you guys think?
I like the over in this game. I think there's a lot of points scored. The Commanders' defense is terrible. I assume is Brissett going for the
Yeah.
Commanders? Are they just
As
kind
long
of
as he's not sick.
yeah? They just dumping Howell for the year, which I don't think is a bad idea. This is just a confidence killing game. If you're Sam Howell and you play in this game, give me the over. I like 45.5. I think it's I think there's definitely some points scored. I think the Cowboys could get back. Obviously, they only scored 20 points last week on their home field. We know they're not the best team on the road, so maybe the Commanders can cover this 13.5-point spread, but I like the over 45.5 points. I think Brissett's able to get some points, maybe 10, and the Cowboys handle the rest. I think Cowboys could score a lot of points this week.
Yeah, backdoor cover is what scares me too, especially if they get up big and they take out the starters and rest them for the playoffs, especially with no bye week for the number 2 seed. I do like your overplay there. I think that's a good idea. I think that the Commanders are able to put up points with those receivers that they have, but it's
Yeah.
not until late. It's going to be garbage
They're-
time.
What's crazy is like they're just a different team with Brissett in the state that they're not as risky. Like so, they're not going to have 3 picks like they will without.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He'll keep it, but they're going to be a lot of 3 and outs in that offense, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, but like, dude, they have weapons. I don't know. I've never really looked at their offensive line. They have to have a terrible offensive line, like Brian Robinson, Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson. Who's the tight end that I'm forgetting his name?
Logan Thomas.
Logan Thomas. Like, they have weapons. They're kind of like I don't know. I'd kind of compare that skill. Like, who would you say? Like the Steelers, Najee, and Brian Robinson, both Alabama running backs. Like Terry McLaurin is better than any receiver that we have. I mean, right now, George Pickens is probably our guy. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's a pretty similar skill player.
Yeah,
Well,
they definitely have skill all around. It's just
Yeah.
the O-line and weak depleted defense.
Yeah, true. I guess we just have the defense.
But I'm going to go with the Cowboys with that big spread this week. I think it's like a college type game, but it scares me at the garbage time. So if you can tease, definitely do that.
Yeah, I like the over. Definitely. Yeah, I like the over. I'm not even gonna give a side on this one.
Like I said, biggest spread of the week here in that matchup. Going to be an interesting one to see. Let's keep it moving here in the 4 o'clock slate. The Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. In Arizona, the Seahawks the favorite, 2.5 points for them, minus 142 on the money line. Cardinals plus 120, total at 47.5. The only trend I got here is Seattle, 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games against Arizona. 2.5 points for Seattle. Huff, what do you think in this 4 o'clock matchup?
I kind of think the Cardinals could win this game and ruin the Seahawks season. I'm not too confident in it. Divisional matchup. Cardinals just played a great game in Philly last week. That's why I think this is like I'm buying high right now on the Cardinals. I wish they would have lost that game last week and this would be a 7-point underdog. But I lean on the Cardinals here on their home field. They've been pesky with Kyler Murray. They've been a lot more fun of a team to watch with Kyler Murray. James Conner's been getting into the mix a lot. We saw a big game last week from Michael Carter, who stepped in. James Conner had a couple touchdowns. I'm on the Cardinals to come out and get a big road win or a big home win against a divisional foe who's trying to make the playoffs this week.
Yeah, you think they're able to actually convert and win that game though?
I think they can. I really think they can. I this isn't my most confident underdog pick of the week. This is one of the underdogs I had my eyes on.
Knock him out of the playoffs too. Yeah, I mean they look good last week. Kyler Murray's been a good quarterback. I think they got their Super Bowl last week with their win over the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't see them going on a little 2-game heater to end the year, but maybe that's what keeps Kyler around instead of moving on from him. I do think the Seahawks are able to win this one. I think the Seahawks and the Rams get those final two seeds in the NFC. The spread here, I do like it as well. I'll take that as well. I'm riding with the Seahawks. I had them last week. They didn't get the job done. I think they do this week.
Good stuff there, boys. Let's keep it going here in our next matchup here. Battle California, the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. 49ers are the favorite here, just 4 points for them, minus 194 on the money, or sorry, 198 on the money line for them. Total at 41.5. The trends I have, 49ers won 12 straight divisional games. They're 9-1 straight up in their last 10 games against the Rams and 1-4 against the spread, following a 9-0 against the spread home streak. Ace, why don't you get us going here? 49ers at home against the Rams. What do you think?
Can the Rams still get in with a loss this week? Huh?
Can the Rams get in with Carson Wentz playing quarterback? Because he's starting. He's confirmed starting this game.
Actually,
Yeah,
oh
so I think
yeah,
they're in with a loss.
yeah, I think so too. I think in that case they're going to end up losing this game because I like the depth of the 49ers more. I don't have too much to say on it though because I know that the Niners are sitting plenty of guys on their side as well with
That's
McCaffrey
I
out.
don't even this was the one game I was like Carson Wentz versus Sam Darnold. I'm good. Yeah, this
Yeah,
is a tough game
you
to
know what
call.
we're doing? Staying away.
This is the one week.
Excited to talk about these two teams come playoff time next week though.
Yeah, this is the week where you really got to watch where you're putting your money because some of the especially like dude right up leading the Sunday they'll sit some of these guys last minute and I get so frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, just
Agreed.
bet on the games that actually matter because you know who's going to be playing.
Exactly. You won't see this one on TV. Weird stuff's going to happen. Weird scores. Maybe a scoregami or two.
I was trying to think of one, but it's probably like the weirdest score I could think of has probably already happened.
Yeah. Right.
Alrighty, let's move forward here. A couple more 4 o'clock matchups before we get into our Sunday night football matchup here in week 18. Next up, the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants in New York and New Jersey, if you will. Eagles, the favorite here, 5.5 points. Their money line minus 235. The total at 41.5. Trends I got here. Philadelphia, 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games against the Giants. Total's gone under in 6 out of Philadelphia's last 7 games on the road. The Giants are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games. What are we thinking here coming out of this matchup out of New Jersey, if you will? Another short commute for these teams. Ace, get us going here. 4 o'clock in in East Rutherford.
Yeah, I think that the Eagles get this one done here. There's going to be a lot of scoreboard watching going on as we know that Cowboys game will be going on at the same time. We'll see who can get what seed, who can win that NFC East because it kind of depends. I think both teams do end up winning this week, and it doesn't change anything. But I think they need to go into the postseason on a high note. I think that number's pretty good for them to cover this week. Even if they roll down some backups, they'd still have it. But I think I like the Eagles here in this spot. I don't think the Giants have anything going. They've looked really, really poor since that last game against the Eagles. That Christmas Day matchup, Huff.
Yeah, obviously divisional game here. Eagles coming off a tough loss last week. The Eagles, they just kind of want to win this game to get their mojo back. Coming off a tough loss to a 4-12 Cardinals team, going to New York. This Giants team, they've gone from DeVito back to Tyrod Taylor, looking like a little bit better of a team. Covering a couple weeks ago, like you said, on that Christmas Day game against the Eagles, but. I got the Eagles getting back and getting right here on the -5. I think they cover the spread. Eagles need a big win going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you, Huff. They need to right the ship a bit, especially after what they've been doing lately. What a devastating loss last week to lose the division. I think they get the ship right with the little brother against the New York Giants this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff there. Another one here in the 4 o'clock slate. The Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders in
Ew.
Vegas. Vegas is the favorite here. 2.5 points for them. -154 on the money line. Total at 37.5. Trends I have here. The total's gone under in 5 out of Denver's last 6 games on the road against Vegas, as well as under 4 out of 5 to the under for their overall games on the road. Vegas 5-0 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games at home against Denver. Do we like the trends here and listening to the Vegas Raiders at 2.5 on the spread? What do you guys think out of this 4 o'clock matchup?
Yeah, I think this is like potentially the worst game of the week, but I'm going to lean with the Broncos here. I know that it's in Vegas, like you said, but the Denver Broncos defense is much stronger, and that's where I'm going to lean. 2 weak quarterbacks. It's going to be Stidham versus O'Connell. Not anything that you want to watch too much, Huff. I don't know about you, but there's going to be a lot of light guys on either side. I think Zamir White does have a good game for the Las Vegas Raiders. He did the last 2 weeks, but nothing I'm going to bank my hat on. These two teams are playing for nothing. They moved on from Russell Wilson. Not much to see from the Denver Broncos here.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup. Obviously, I'm totally off these Broncos with no Russ. They looked a little bit better last week. This Raiders team is pretty hungry. Can't go against them. So I'm going to ride them. I don't know if they're sitting out anyone. Haven't done too much research on this game. Definitely lean on the Raiders to get the divisional win at home.
This is such a bad game, Huff. No one's going to be watching this one.
Yeah, no, this is another one.
Moving over to our final 4 o'clock matchup here, the Kansas City Chiefs heading to Los Angeles to visit the Chargers. Chargers favored here, 3.5 points. Their money line at -184. The total at 35 even. The Kansas City Chiefs are 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games on the road against the Chargers, as well as 16-3 straight up in their last 19 games overall with the Chargers. Total's gone under in 11 out of the Chargers' last 14 games. That's all I got here for the 4 o'clock slate. What do you guys like in the Chiefs Chargers matchup here in LA?
The Chiefs need to win to keep their seeding better, right?
I don't think they're playing Mahomes. Do they really care that much? Like, they already won the division,
Oh
right?
no, they're the definitely the 3 seed. I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
They're the
they won
3
their
seed
division.
regardless.
They're locked in because the AFC South is going to be the 4 seed in the AFC.
Then
Yeah,
you know
they're
what I like
locked
this
in
week,
three.
Huff? No points because Easton Stick can't get the job done. And who is he? Who even is it for them right now? Is it the guy that had that QB sneak against the Browns?
Chase Daniel.
Oh, is it Chase Daniel? Chad Henne? I don't remember who.
Yeah, I was gonna say Chase and no Chad Henne's the guy I was thinking of. Like, they're all the same. If you're if you're
Yeah.
Mahomes backup, you have an absolute dream job.
Yeah, and you don't have to play much. There's not going to be many points in this one. I'll tell you that. 2 touchdowns might win the game. The Chiefs have nothing to play for, but I don't see a chance where the Chargers win a game. They're in turmoil. They need to reset this season ASAP.
Chargers don't want to win this game either. That's the thing, is they're a home favorite. Ugly game. I can't even give a pick on this one. It's just so weird to see the Chiefs as a 3.5 point favorite in LA,
Yeah. Ugh. Brutal game.
or 3.5 point underdog, I should say.
Last Sunday Night Football regular season game of the year.
This is really the only game I care about all week.
That is all we got there for the 4 o'clock slate here in Week 18. Let's move forward. Sunday Night Football in Miami. Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. The Bills are the favorite at 3 points even, -158 on the money line. Dolphins money line at +134 and the total at 49.5. Trends I got here. The Chiefs 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games. I'm looking at my wrong trends. Dolphins 11-1 straight up in their past 12 Sunday home games. Bills 10-1 straight up in their last 11 games against Miami. Dolphins 17-5-1 against the spread in their last 23 divisional matchups. Ace, let's start off with you here, as Huff and I will be at this game. So I want to hear what you have to say first before we let him go on his tangent. What do you think?
Huff, I already know who you're taking, and I am not riding with you. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills as dogs this week to win the division. They're gonna
Oh,
win the division.
favorites.
Yeah. As 3 point. Yeah, they're on the road. I would assume they would have been dogs, but
Yeah, dude,
that's
it's a weird line. I agree. I think it's a weird
that
fucking
makes
line.
it look weird. I like, looked at it, I was like, huh. And then but still I like the Bills here. They're the better team. Josh Allen, second best quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, his play at times is boneheaded, but skill wise cannot be faulted at all. I think they go in and they blow up this Dolphins season, expose them as the frauds they are, even though the Dolphins have some good pieces. No good defense. I think there's a ton of points here in this shootout of a Sunday night matchup. And Josh Allen's going to be running the football in for one, maybe two. I like the Bills this week. I had the Dolphins with you to start the year as dogs to win the division. But I think the Bills are taking this one. Not everything trending in the right direction.
Absolutely. Yeah. I am on the Dolphins here. I'm gonna take the +3. I do like the over as well. You heard I sent it today. Tyreek Hill's house burnt down today or caught on fire today. That's just a legacy game
He's
automatic
going to be
coming
on
from the
fire.
cheetah. Yeah, exactly. The cheetah's gonna be running. He's gonna be on fire out there. No pun intended. Look for Tyreek to get in the end zone. I love the Dolphins to get right this week. This is the week to do it. You know, everyone said you
Why are
can't
you
beat a
taking
good
the
team.
points? Then why are you taking the points?
I always take the points. Give me the
I
+3.
know,
I
I
agree.
know, I know.
I think this could be a very close game, but the higher scoring it gets, the more likely that +3 doesn't really come into play. Just kind of take them on the money line. I'm on the Dolphins here. I think that they get enough points to win this game. But like you said, Bills defense has been playing really good football. Dolphins now without Bradley Chubb for the season, which is a killer for Miami. Torn ACL, so that's an absolute pretty tough blow for them. Defensively, they should have taken him out of that game in Baltimore, but that's neither here nor there. I like the Dolphins. I do. I think Tua has a good game. They won a huge game against the Cowboys at home. This one's a divisional matchup. They let the Bills work them in Buffalo early on in the year.
Hmm.
I think McDaniel's been watching that film and looking has this this game circled on the calendar. I think the Dolphins get a big win.
Yeah, Huff. I think you were leaning on Tyreek Hill to get in. I like Josh Allen to get in, but I think whoever you take is going to because there's going to be so many points.
That I like the over 49.
This has potential for game of the year written all over it.
This easily could be like the 37-32 like we just saw that Washington Texas college football playoff game
Yeah,
37-31 final. That'd be crazy.
yeah. This will be a fun one. Kudos to you guys for going down there. Enjoy it. I hope it's a great game, but I think they're going to be circling the wagons.
Yeah, I'm more just joining. Definitely been supporting this Dolphins team this year. You know, and I'm probably gonna. I don't know. I might cop the Tua jersey. I've been thinking about it.
Yeah, it's kind of steez. Great colors,
It's
great
kind
team.
of steez. I agree.
A great game to go to though.
Yeah, I'm hyped. This literally, I've had this one circled since my brother was like, "Yeah, I can get tickets for that." I was like, "Dude, there's a chance that's for the fucking division if all this
And it
works
is.
out." I felt like I was like not even like this year, like a Bears fan being like, "We need to win and we need 16 teams to
Yeah.
lose and we're in the playoffs." Like that's what I was doing for this game all year to be like, and it got to the point where I was like, Miami needs to lose one and the Bills win out, and that's for the division. And bang, I was like, and I was telling Jesse for the past month, I'm like, if you look at the slate, there's a very good chance that that game ends up being Sunday Night Football in bang Sunday Night Football. I'm
So
so excited
fire.
for this game.
Going to be a good one here, and that's going to finish off everything we got in the NFL for Week 18. Huff, do you have like a list of the winning scenarios?
All right. So that first game, Houston, what's at stake? Houston clinches the AFC South title with a Houston win or a Jacksonville loss. In that same game, Indianapolis is looking for to clinch the same thing, the AFC South. Indianapolis would do that with a win plus a Jacksonville loss, or an Indianapolis tie and a Jacksonville loss. My Steelers on Saturday, looking to clinch a playoff berth with a Pittsburgh win plus a Buffalo loss. I like that chance. I like that the first odds on that one. Let's go Dolphins. Pittsburgh to win plus Jacksonville loss. Pittsburgh to win plus Houston, Indianapolis tie. Not even going to get in these last two. We need like three teams to tie. Dolphins clinch AFC East with a win or tie. Bills clinch with a win or wait, let's see. Oh, they can clinch a playoff berth as well. Buffalo tie or Pittsburgh loss or tie or Jacksonville loss. So Bills are in the playoffs. That's pretty much determined. This game's mainly for the 2 seed. Jacksonville, what's at stake? Will clinch the AFC South title with a Jacksonville win or Jacksonville tie plus an Indianapolis Houston tie. I love when they start throwing these ties in there. Like just every game is going to tie week 18. Obviously Dallas, what's at stake? Winning the NFC East. They can do that with a Dallas win or a Dallas tie in a Philadelphia tie or an Eagles loss. Bucks win and the division is theirs. Falcons, it's not going to happen, so I'm not even going to read it. Saints, I already went through the Saints. Eagles, what's at stake? The NFC East title with a Philadelphia win, a Dallas loss in Washington, not very likely. We were talking about the Seahawks, so here's how the Seahawks can clinch a playoff berth. Seattle win plus a Green Bay loss, so we both picked the Bears there. So, and you're on the Seahawks, so you think Seahawks can get in off that chance. Seattle tie plus a Green Bay loss plus Tampa Bay loss. Seattle tie plus Green Bay loss plus New Orleans loss or tie. Now looking at that, I do think the Seahawks will find a way to get in. I think it'll just be the Seahawks win and Green Bay loss. Green Bay, Packers can clinch a playoff with a Green Bay win. So obviously we said that that's most
Huge
likely
game.
chance for them. Yeah, that's a huge game for them. And then the Vikings, it's not going to happen. So I'm not even going to read it as well.
It's a lot to look forward to this week. You got to be
Yeah,
watching Scott Hansen doing
the
his
other
math on the screen.
The other thing to look at that I wanted to make a list for, but I couldn't find like factual enough lists. I saw them talking about it on ESPN this morning. They only went over like 3 of them. Was all the guys with incentives on their contracts that are actually going to be playing this week?
We'll have to
Like,
tweet some of those out this week when they hit.
Yeah, I was gonna say when we find them, I'll definitely get those out because I love riding a couple of those.
Yeah, I'd love to see that, especially if you can get a good read
Yeah, like a tight end that needs like 2.5 catches
with one
for
touchdown.
500 grand. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The best is when they need just one touchdown. You're like, bang, anytime, give me
Yeah.
it.
Lots of good stuff there, boys. Any other final predictions coming into the NFL playoffs here before we move off of the NFL for our last week of the regular season?
I don't know how, but I still think it's going to be a San Fran Philly NFC Conference Championship.
See, it's gonna be tough. So right now, Steelers are the last team on the AFC that's not eliminated on the outside looking. Oh, Houston too. I'm thinking there's 8 teams that make it, like hockey and basketball. Houston and Pittsburgh are the teams on the outside looking in the AFC. And then in the NFC, we have the Vikings, Saints, and Seahawks all on the outside looking in with just that 7 seed wide open. So Seahawks basically they can't get in, correct? If the Saints or if the Packers win, Seahawks are out. I said that right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. That's a huge game for the Packers. Obviously, we know LaFleur's record in December, not so much in January. He loves choking up on those games in January. So I'm big on the Bears in that spot. I think the Seahawks are definitely going to sneak in that NFC spot.
Dog of the week.
I know I said the Cardinals, but I'm now that I look at that more, the implications more, I'm kind of jumping over to that Seahawks side. And then in the AFC, I like the Colts to stay where they're at. I like the Bills to make the playoffs, and then I think Houston loses this week. So give me my Steelers to make some magic and maybe clinch a spot. But I most likely think the Bills and the Colts are going to be in the picture.
That'll be interesting to see.
Always rooting for the boys though. Wouldn't be too scared. So I definitely would rather go. So this is like part of what obviously I need the Bills to lose this week for the Steelers to make the playoffs. But I also would rather go to Miami if we make the playoffs than to Buffalo. You know what I mean? Like we'd be the 7 seed, they'd be the 2 seed. I'd much rather play wild card weekend in Miami than in Buffalo.
Yeah, we'll talk about it if we get there. That's a dream scenario, Huff. I think you got a lot to wish
Two
for.
things that happen. It's not that crazy. It's usually way crazier with my Steelers in Week 18. They just got to win as a 4-point favorite, and then they need a 3-point underdog to get a win at home. I don't think it's that crazy, but we'll see.
Order.
What do you guys think about this Super Bowl logo colors, Delio?
I don't
Fake
have
news.
much to say about it. Yeah, I don't. I think it's more coincidence than anything, but
Yeah, like what?
I think they do it on purpose. Like they're like, hey, well, also like, where is it this year? It's in Vegas. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of like I don't know what colors I'd expect to be Vegas, like gold, but like they could have done that. I don't know. There's no.
I'd say like
redneck-
green and red, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
Or like black and
Exactly.
red,
Like
rather,
I
I
don't
guess
even
is
have
what I
enough
meant
of
to
an
say.
opinion on this to like make anything.
Alrighty, good stuff. That's all we got out of the last regular season week of the NFL this year, week 18. Next week, we will have some wild card matchups and playoffs beyond that. Let's shift our focus here to the NHL with some power rankings here for this week. First of the new year, coming in at number 5, the Colorado Avalanche. Number 4, the Vegas Golden Knights. 3, Vancouver Canucks. Number 2, the Boston Bruins. And number 1, the New York Rangers to finish off our list. What are you thinking here, Ace? Your Bruins, I think, drop into that second spot here this week. I don't think they were there last week. What do you got?
Yeah, they actually moved up. They were at like the 5 spot
Yeah, they
last
were,
week in our
I think we had
were
ranking.
them
they?
at 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So way to be, boys. They're in first in the NHL actually too. So that's kind of nuts. Same amount of games played as Mackey's Rangers too, and now they got a point ahead of them. So best team in the league once again. I don't know how. You should see their lineup in and out people all the time. I'll tell you how actually the goaltending. But Vegas Golden Knights, they're lucky to stay on, especially after a brutal Winter Classic loss, getting shown up 3-0 on the road. I know, but happy to see the Avs back in. That team's great. Dallas Stars, good team as well. The Canucks playing great hockey. Stars Canes are the 2 teams I have that would be next up. I still think the Leafs are going to pop off and get back up there soon too. Huff, I don't know if there's anybody that's surprising to you that's off this list though.
Mine would probably be the one that I keep wanting to put in there is Carolina that I keep saying.
Agreed.
I was kind of thinking the same thing. Vegas is definitely starting to make their slide. I'm big on that team out there. Like you said, a tough loss in that Winter Classic. We were on Seattle there, so definitely was rooting for that one. But Vegas sliding, Colorado on the up and up. I think you'll definitely see both of those teams there in the end of the playoff picture. The one fraud I think that's easy to point out here that won't be easily too far into the playoffs is the Vancouver Canucks. We haven't seen them do it. We've had them in this top 5 for the past couple of weeks. I'm not
Young
too
team.
confident. Yeah, I like this team as a regular season team. Not confident in them at all to go up against some of those Western Conference powerhouses if they run into a Dallas Stars or a Winnipeg Jets, Vegas or Colorado. Any of those teams, I think, are taking them in 5 games. I think Carolina should slide
Yeah,
in
Carolina,
there.
and then watch out for the defending Cinderella team too. Those Florida Panthers on the rise as well.
We had them in there a couple weeks ago. They've made their appearance. The Avs, the Stars, Kings. We've had
Kane's
a
turn,
couple
you're
of those
saying?
teams. I think it's Carolina's turn to make their appearance.
Big win
after
over
a
Mackey's
huge
Rangers the
win
other night.
last night. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was big.
Yeah, interesting stuff though. NHL's flying right now, and got the World
All
Juniors
Star.
going
When's
as
All
well.
Star Weekend? That's got to be coming up soon, right?
No, a little bit further away, a little bit towards the end of the NFL playoffs there.
Is it? I swear it was always like the weekend. I'm looking this up.
What are
NHL
we
All
talking
Star
about?
Weekend 2024. When is it?
Yeah, first weekend of February.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
February 3rd
February
during the
1st.
Pro Bowl.
Yeah, same weekend as the Pro Bowl. That's right. I knew it was technically during football season.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. NHL heating up, the World Junior Classic heating up. Go Team USA. Not much else to say on that Junior Classic.
Yeah,
Just
so
had to
if
get
you've been
free
watching that,
plug-in.
so did that Canadian team just like fall apart? What the fuck happened? Who'd they
No,
lose to?
The Czechia, Czech.
Are you serious?
Czech
Like
Czech
something.
Republic.
No, like Czechia, Chechnya. Like, look it up.
Oh, it's literally a country in Europe.
Yeah, isn't it Chechnya?
Yeah.
Yeah. They lost. They got
Yeah,
upset in the
I couldn't say
quarterfinals.
it better.
Macklin Celebrini, 17-year-old stud, couldn't get him there. Matt Patra, Boston Bruin, couldn't get him there. Team
Oh,
USA,
that's the Czech Republic.
is it? Yeah, but why are they called that now?
I don't know.
I feel like
Also
that
known as
country
Czechia.
switches name like every fucking 3
That's
years. I feel like
stupid.
Yeah,
they switch names more than the Washington
I
Commanders.
remember just playing old NHL back then. You could use the Czech Republic and use like Kovalchuk and Yager.
I was gonna say Kovalchuk. I think Hossa was on that team. Maybe no, Hossa was Slovakia.
Yeah, but still, USA got the door wide open, so it'll be interesting to watch. Maybe we'll get some coverage on that for you next week if they can take home the gold.
Yeah, definitely keep us posted on when that is because I haven't watched any of that, but I definitely would.
Going into the semis right now.
Alrighty, moving over to the NBA, some power rankings here for the beginning of the year. Number 5, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Number 4, the Philadelphia 76ers. Number 3, the Milwaukee Bucks. Number 2, the Minnesota Timberwolves. And number 1, the Boston Celtics there. What are we thinking here coming out of the NBA this week?
I think we've now had this same list 3 weeks in a row, and these teams are starting to set themselves as truly the top 5 teams in the league. Obviously, this Thunder team is very young and exciting. The
Big win last night
Timberwolves.
over the Celtics.
I was going to
so,
say big win last night at home against Boston. This Thunder team is really good. They're not just one of those young teams. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a really special franchise player. Chet has really become one of his own as a star young player, rookie of the year candidate. This Thunder team's really fun to watch. They have role players all over the court. But obviously, Philly, that top four, they'll be there all season. I think this Timberwolves team is legit. I really do.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Especially, there's always like I feel like some surprise team over in the West, and this year it's
Was it
them.
you that
Last year was
compared
the
them to the
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies of last year?
Yeah, yeah, they like
Yeah,
the. I think it might have been
that's a
Mir
perfect
Mackey, but
comparison.
that's what I thought so too. They're like one of those young teams that kind of just burst onto the scene as well. Um, but yeah, the big dogs really holding their own in the East. And not much to be said. Usually it's the West where it's like the East is wide open and the West is like we know who's getting there. I feel like it's just a lot of teams in the West. That's the thing. Even the bad teams are good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'm looking at just by conference right now, and out west, just the play-in tournament is Dallas, Phoenix, Houston, Lakers.
Yeah, a lot of superstar players on max contracts in that tournament.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Sacramento's doing good.
East
The
meanwhile is
Pelicans are
super.
probably my surprise. I did
Oh,
not
I
expect
feel
the
like
Pelicans
we
to
do
be
have
this
to give a
competitive.
shout out here though to the Detroit Pistons for ending that losing streak.
Yeah, we were chirping them last week. Yeah, we did say they could be going until New Year's Day. That did come and go. They are 3-30 now in the season. They have they're on a 2-game losing streak, so they're looking to break their own record.
Kudos are in order for them.
Alrighty, moving forward here to the college football world. Michigan defeated Alabama 27-20 in the 2024 Rose Bowl. J.J. McCarthy and the Michigan Wolverines advance to the 2024 National Championship game. Michigan will take on Michael Penix and the University of Washington Huskies. The Huskies took down Quinn Ewers and the Texas Longhorns late on Monday night in the 2024 All-State Sugar Bowl. The odds are out for this matchup here. Michigan, the favorite, 4.5 points for them. 55.5 is the total. What are you guys thinking here for the national championship?
Tell me what I'm taking. Let me know.
That Michigan game, obviously Michigan gets there. Everyone's kind of praising JJ McCarthy. Jim Harbaugh in the press conference is calling him the best Michigan quarterback to ever play college football there. That obviously he's been there he's going to be the first guy to get him to the national championship in a while, so he's going to get that praise. But really the difference for the blue and gold up there is Blake Corum, number 2 in the backfield. He's absolutely unreal. 83 rushing yards, a touchdown. Then he adds on 35 receiving yards and the game-winning receiving touchdown. I just think Blake Corum's going to be the difference. Michael Penix and this Washington team looked really
They
good.
look electric.
They looked like big play capability on every
But they
play.
give up
Odunze,
huh?
I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name, but that's right, it right there.
Romo.
Romeo
Yeah.
Dunze. I don't know how to say his
He's
name, but
be like a Jefferson type receiver.
I was gonna say he's like I saw Jamar Chase was the comparison.
That's what I
Basically, if
meant.
you're getting
Yeah,
compared to any of
LSU
those
guys.
guys, it's
That's what
like
I meant to say. Yeah.
I'm on Michigan. I don't love 4.5. I think the defense
Too
gets
good
it
of a
done.
team, right?
They're
Like,
too good of a team. Michigan and Washington. I said it last week. They've been underdogs. How many times can we disrespect them?
but they
We
can
took them on
score,
the
right?
card.
So there
They
should
cashed.
be points.
Yeah, I just think Michigan's defense is going to be the difference in Washington. I think Michigan's offense is going to put up too many points, and that Washington offense has been able to put up points all year is going to be the scary thing. I think Michigan's defense is going to stymie them a little bit, and
Yeah,
Blake
that's a
Corum's
good.
going to be the difference.
Yeah, you analyze a lot more than me, but it seems like that defense is just top notch NFL type caliber players.
Yeah,
And then
they're going to be
Washington
this
hasn't
year.
seen that. Washington hasn't seen that, but they've been zipping in Penix and Rome. That's a good connection. They have a few other guys too that have been pretty electric through the air. It looked like last game.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it hates me to go again to pick against Washington right now. Right now, I'm definitely leaning on Michigan to cover this number in the Natty.
yeah, I think this will be
See,
fun to
like
watch
people
though.
love to think like I'm Mister Take the underdog with the points. In the college football national championship, I
Yeah,
can't. Like it gets ugly some games.
Pac-12, Big Ten.
Yeah,
Come
dude.
on.
And this is a win-win for the Big Ten because Washington coming over to the Big Ten next year. This is a Big Ten national title technically, but I'm on the side where you are. I think the Pac-12 gets their first taste of some real football. Your semifinal was against the Big 12. You'd love to see them go up against any other conference and get a win. The Big Ten and the SEC were known as the two big dogs this year, and the Pac-12, everyone loves to say, just kind of beats each other up, but Washington prevails against a pretty good Texas team, but I got Michigan winning the whole thing.
I feel like you even would have been on Alabama then had they had won that game.
Yeah, I honestly, I thought whatever team won that game. I was huge on Alabama
Moment's
in
too
that
big
game,
for a West Coast team.
yeah, I think
They
so.
just don't
And
have the depth on defense, but they have the quarterback. Let's see. This Penix draft stock could go through the roof with a win here.
this coach for Washington is like he kind of reminds me of what's his name for the Lions, Campbell, where
Dan
he's just
Campbell.
like, fuck it, I'm gonna win this game or I'm gonna lose by 20. You know what I mean? And I like a coach like that. Like if you're my coach, there's gonna be frustrating moments where if you're calling a game like that lines where you're gonna keep going for it, but like your coach is like, fuck it, we're either winning it or losing it right here. We're not going overtime. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And in college, that sometimes pays off because like you do the hurry up offense and shit. Those kids don't adapt to the keys and shit like that, and changing plays and motions and shit like that when they're audibling. And I just think Michigan's the better coach team. I think Harbaugh wins this national title game and then moves to the NFL. There's huge talks of him
Great
going to the
prediction. I like
NFL.
that.
I think he wins it and then says, "Peace, I'm out."
I'm with you on that one. I think we'll see that on our card.
Mackey's going to be all over Washington. He's going to say, "I can't fade this team." I know how he is. I let him talk me into it, and I'm glad he did because I like Texas. And then I was like, "Fuck it, I'll do Washington money line." I'm not doing Washington with the points. If it's close, Washington's going to win. And I think the same thing here. There's no value in Washington plus the 4.5. If it's close, Washington's going to find a way to win this game.
Agreed, but I think it's a blowout win for the blue
I think Michigan wins this game.
by 10, 10 to 17,
27 on Bama, 34-23.
20.
High scoring game.
Yeah,
They win by 11. I
Lots
like
of good
it.
stuff there. Like the over, like all that. Lots of good stuff. Some news here in the college basketball world. We're doing really well here, hitting at a 60% rate, 38, 23, and 1, plus just over 13 and a half units. So make sure you're following us on Instagram and Twitter for all our plays each and every day for all the sports.
So especially as we get into these conference games, starting to hit on obviously a lot more familiarity between the teams in college basketball. Beginning of the year, we were looking to just kind of build ourselves a bankroll to play with when conference play started, and we did not expect starting at 38, 23, and 1 at the plus 13 and a half units as we get into conference play in January. So definitely excited about that. 3-1 last night, got 3 plays going tonight. Providence, I think they're up by 1 at half, so got that minus 6.5, hoping that can cover and get us a win here to start the night out hot. But yeah, college basketball has been rolling. Thank God, because I haven't been too good in the NFL lately, and college basketball is keeping me afloat.
Awesome, boys. I think that's all we got here this week. Week 18 of the NFL. Last week of the regular season. All the other sports in full swing. We have the All-Star stuff coming up for the NHL here at the beginning of next month. We got, obviously, the national championship and whatnot happening now. But I think that's about all I got this week. Anything else, Dad?
nope. Stay tuned. Hit those books. Tune into live streams this weekend.
Yeah, obviously, like you said, live streams this weekend, football on Saturday, football on Sunday, national championship on Monday, another weekend packed of football. Playoffs start next weekend. This is the time of year that we all kind of build up for. We were all saying how the season's going to fly by. Well, now all we can do is sit back and watch all this playoff football because the playoffs basically start this week for a lot of these teams. A lot of big games, a lot of playoff implications. I'm excited for week 18. I'm excited for the national championship. Let's go Steelers. Let's scratch and claw in and be a 13-point underdog in Miami. Let's do it.